Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at a brand new kit coming from Southord. They call this the M2000 NewGen or New Generation. It's very similar to the old M2000B that I reviewed in video 1007 about a year and a half ago, but they listened to what you guys had to say, made a lot of improvements. This is a tremendous upgrade. Alright, before we go too much further, I'd like to apologize up front. If you guys are hearing any grinding noise every time I move my hand like that, it's because had a little injury here in the lock lab. I wish I could say it was, something really interesting, like I was fighting off a bunch of ninjas or maybe fighting over a red-haired woman, but in fact, I cut myself on a fluorescent light fixture. I get it. Anyway, that's a picture of me in the recovery room coming out of surgery when they sewed it all back together. And of those of you who are without a doubt going to ask for pictures, I'll put a couple of the more graphic images in a link to Dropbox down in the description. I would warn you, if you're queasy, please don't click on it. I just don't. It's a voluntary thing. You don't want to see it, don't click on it. All right, here we go. M2000 New Generation. What do we get? There's a lot of similarities. The first thing you might notice is that the M2000B had only 8 picks, and now we're looking at 11 picks. You'll also notice, again, trying to get my hand to work, that Southord has now moved to what's very quickly becoming the industry standard sandwiched handles. These are full tang, unlike the old plastic handles that came in the original kit. These are full tang, and they give you excellent transmission and feedback from the tip of the pick all the way through the entire length of the handle. They are sandwiched, they are spot welded, so it's almost like one solid piece of metal. The difference, when we talk about metal, these are still made out of the high-yield stainless steel. And the difference, of course, is that 301 stainless steel we normally look at is called full hard stainless steel, and it measures 185,000 PSI, pounds per square inch, tensile strength. Really, really tough stuff. This is even tougher. This is 40% tougher. The high yield measures 270,000 PSI. So that alone tells you this is a much higher quality raw material, much tougher. And if you're in the habit of breaking or bending your picks, just investing in something like this will probably, in the long run, end up saving you some money. These still measure 25 thousandths of an inch in thickness, which is 0.62 millimeters. I've got these divided up into the differences between the old kit and this new kit. In the old kit, we had these same 5 profiles. So we had a snake rake, we had the L rake or the city rake, we had a short hook, ball, and then we had the W rake for those kinetic attacks. Those are identical profiles to the original kit. These two, we had these profiles, but in the original kit they were kind of jacked up. Now they're just absolutely perfect. In the old one, they gave us a half ball, which actually looked like a production error. It was a half ball, and then the outermost ball there was really misshapen. It was like they'd made a mistake when they punched it out and said, the hell with it. And they just threw it in the kit, gave it to us anyway. At that original $130 price point, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Now we get a full snowman, and he's perfectly shaped. So now we can rake those double-sided wafers, and we don't even have to take the pick out of the lock to do that. The other thing that irritated a lot of us was the half diamond. This one in the new kit is absolutely perfect. That's the way it's supposed to look. The old one was pretty misshapen. Again, almost like they'd mispunched it and just threw it in the kit anyway just to get it out the door. When we look at the finish on these, you notice it's almost a mirror finish. You can see some fingerprints on there. But even on the handles, and again, this is not quite like the original kit. This is beautiful mirror finish, and when you look at the edges, it's a nice finish as well. These have been tumbled just like the original kits had, but these have been tumbled in a lot finer medium to give us that higher shine finish and a nice rounded edges on that. Unlike the original kit, I think these can be used right out of the box without any additional finishing. So that's a big plus. These 4 profiles were not in the original kit. Now, one of the things, again, it's a little bit different. We complained that there weren't enough rakes. So rather than give us the rake that we were after, this is the one on top that they give us. It's an offset snake rake. So this one we had originally, all they did is kind of tilt him up a little bit to give us a little bit higher rise. Yeah, it's a rake, but it's not quite what I would consider to be the industry standard. It'll work fine, but we'll talk a little bit more about the Rake in a minute. In the original kit, a major shortcoming was no medium hooks. Well, now, not only do we have one medium hook, we got two. And it happens to be one of my favorite profiles, for me at least. This is the DeForest Diamond. So this, for me at least, is the ultimate medium hook. And if you don't like that diamond on the end of it, again, you have the DeForest profile, but you get the small ball on the end of it. So if you're picking really small pinned locks, like some of the Chinese or European ones, or Masters or American locks, this will let you get into those really tight spaces. And again, perfect medium hooks. And now we not only get one medium hook, we get two. And finally, unlike the original kit, which had no deep hook, we have a deep hook. All same steel, same beautiful mirror finish on all of these guys. Okay, these came in the original kit, and I'm still baffled by these, to be honest with you. It's almost like Southord bought like a train load of these 20 years ago, and they've been pushing them out the door. The difference on these are 25 thousandths in thickness, 0.62 millimeters, and these little pocket tools, I mean, they're great for minimalist kits, are 31 thousandths, which works out to 0.77 millimeters in thickness. On one end, we have a rake tool, so we have a snake rake, or kind of like a W rake, but a little bit misshapen, or it'll work as a rake, but it is definitely not a standard W rake profile. And then on the other end, we have a half diamond, again, a little bit misshapen, and then we have a short hook. Nice shape on that guy. So we get two of those. The other thing we made fun of at in the original M2000B were these tulips. They threw in two of these for no apparent reason. We made fun of that because how many of those you need? Well, this will help you get around the doorknob. You don't need them every day, but you need them kind of badly. Now they give you one. They took away one and they gave us something else, which could be useful. Wasn't in the original kit, a wafer tensioner. Again, beautiful finish, just like all the picks, made out of the same high yield max steel. Finally, we get into the bottom of the Keyway tensioners. The original kit had a mismatched set of tensioners. It wasn't very well thought out at all. It was a mixed match of thin ones, thick ones, twisted, not twisted. It just seemed to be whatever they had on the shelf. This one is much nicer selection. We get a set of twisted handles, one long and two a little shorter. And then we get a thick one. So we get some focus going here. Come on out of there. We get a thick one, a medium one, and a thin one. So one of each with twisted handles. And we got kind of the same thing on the standard L non-twisted, except we get an additional one. I mean, they didn't just throw it in though. We get a thick one, a medium one, a thin one, and then a very, very tiny one for those super small keyways like you find on some of those smaller Abus padlocks. This would be the proper size. All right, so they've put a lot more thought, some big pluses in this kit. The handles are now full tang instead of that partial tang. They're full steel, not plastic. We get 11 picks, not just 8. We get a much better pick selection. The finish and fit on these is much better than we got on the original kit. And we got a lot better selection of tensioners. So you get a lot more money. As I said, I got this from PickPals. It was 102, let's see, the price for in Australian dollars is $169, and when you with the current exchange rate works out to about $125 delivered to your door. So there you go, guys. What would I do to make it better? And this is again something that baffles me. Southord is one of the most prolific manufacturers of picks in the United States. They supply more kits to Locksport than all the other manufacturers combined, and yet they don't have a Bogota. I just don't get it. So to complete this kit for the giveaway, I'm going to throw one in. This is a 25 thousandths Bogota from Sparrows. Same thickness as the original kit. I'm going to throw one of those in. Again, from Sparrows, 25 thousandths. The worm looks like a Bogota, but shorter in profile. Pretty handy for best locks and arrow locks. Throw that guy in. And on the tensioners, again, we always talk about, I want to see top of the keyway thrown in. And all modern kits, everybody wants it. I'm going to throw one of those in as well. Again, from Sparrows, they call this the Flat 5 kit. I'm going to throw that in as part of the giveaway. So now we have the M2000 NewGen Lock Lab Plus. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. If you want to win this, easy to do. Go to that website. In the middle of the page is a purple button. Click it, register. With a little luck, next week you'll be the lucky winner of this plussed up M2000 NewGen. Thanks, guys.